Well, good afternoon and welcome to Guiseley AFC for another live match here on our YouTube account for the Lions of Guiseley taking on the Sandgrounders of Southport in a Vanarama National North game with quite a bit of early season importance. It's been a real shame not to have fans in the ground, and so we're really grateful for everyone who supported the crowdfunder for the club so far in enabling us to keep these streams going out free and available on a pay-as-you-feel basis. So if you want to make a donation, please go to crowdfunder.co.uk, Guiseley AFC Matchday Support, and make a donation. We would be eternally grateful to you. And also leave us a comment, because we really like your feedback. It's great to hear your feedback. And actually, just before kick-off, the guys thrust this letter into my hand to read out on air. They said I'd enjoy this. It's from Robert in Darlington, and it reads, Dear Guiseley AFC, I'm a Darlington supporter, writing to you after watching your recent live stream of our excellent 4-1 victory over your team. He goes on, I was naturally delighted with the way my team played on the evening, but my main reason for writing is to give you some feedback on the commentary of the game, which is very kind of you. I can honestly say I've never heard anything quite like it. It was a truly unique experience. Oh, thank you, Robert. I don't think I've ever heard a football commentator say any of the things you said, and you didn't stop throughout the entire match. I unconsciously found myself preparing my evening dessert with you in mind. It was a fruit salad. As you were a gift that kept on giving throughout your commentary, I thought I'd send this gift to you. A photo of the fruit salad inspired by you. And he encloses a photo, which I believe the chaps have, and are going to share on screen now. I can't say as a... hopefully with a good bite to it as well. Robert goes on. He finishes the letter. Good luck for the rest of the season, Mr. Soul, Roberts, and Accuracy signs off in a rather more formal way, initial and surname. Not really quite sure why you'd enter a letter in that way, but there you go. Well, thank you, Roberts, and if you'd like to share your generosity with us, please don't forget to donate to our crowdfunder to help keep these streams for free. Home and away fans, we're really grateful for your support whilst we're forced to play behind closed doors. So go to crowdfunder.co.uk, Guiseley AFC Matchday Support. Guys, stop giggling. You're like a bunch of chattering hyenas. You know, if you want to be the volunteer on this side of the camera, you're going to have to act a lot more professionally than this. Right, how long have we got left on this clip? What do you mean there's no clip? At the back post, there's a chance, there's a shot that comes in and it's fired home! LeBrun and Becker, what a strike! The 18-yard box is floated in and headed home. Kane Felix has got a bit of space now down this right-hand side and into the penalty area. He goes past the goalkeeper, slots the ball home. The Lions have a third, surely that's the game. He's in a good position, goes towards the edge of the area, can get a shot away with his left foot and score another. He can, just beat through, he's on the edge of the area, takes a shot and he's put it in. First goal here at Nethermoor since March, and it's Kane Felix who gets it. Picked up here by Howarth, edge of the area, takes a shot, a super goal.
Good afternoon to all of you watching on YouTube and now those of you joining us on the Guiseley Mixlr channel. Thank you for tuning in. It's a perfect afternoon for football here at Nethermoor. It is mild, it is grey overhead. Sorry to those of you who suffered our opening segment there, but we're here with the actual football now, and we're going to tell you about the teams today and introduce our special guest this week as well. We're going to be joined by AD Towers throughout the broadcast this afternoon, and in a moment I'm going to get his thoughts on the game today. The match, of course, the Lions are at home to Southport FC, the visitors, this afternoon, and a lot of familiar names in their lineup, players that we have faced in the recent past there are as well. And a couple of new names and new selections in the Guiseley team as well. So let me just read out those two squads to you very quickly, and then we'll get some opening thoughts from Adrian Towers. Southport today, starting Daniel Hanford in goal, and then Jack Doyle, Charles Oliver, Adam Anson, Russell Benjamin, George Newell, Captain David Morgan, Matty Challoner, Connor Woods, Marcus Carver, Jack Bainbridge, and on the bench they have Niall Watson, Dylan Vassallo, Cameron Antwi, Muhammad Ali, and Jordan Archer. For the Lions, Brad Wade is in goal, and then John Lafudu, George Cantrell, Andre Jones, the captain Hamza Ben Sharif, the Brun and Becker, Kane Felix, new signing in midfield Milan Butterfield, John Wafula, Josh Parsons, who arrived in midweek, Nathan Newell. And on the bench, Chuck Malokwu, Gabriel Johnson, Brad Nicholson, Miracle Okafor, and Adam Hoare. AD, thanks for joining us this afternoon. We're going to try and recover from that opening that the Mixler listeners were spared from. What do you make of the afternoon in prospect?
Well, I think it's, for those of us that's been around, as long as we have been around, we know exactly what to expect from a Liam Watson team. 1,000 games in management and 1,000 games in management played exactly the same way. So I imagine we'll all have stiff necks by the end of the afternoon. So it's just really a matter of seeing if our style and their style, just seeing if our style can come out on top. I mean, certainly we all know about the injuries and players who were missing, but what we brought in this week with Milan Butterfield from Chesterfield and Josh, who we saw a little bit of against Chorley, there's certainly a little bit of inventiveness in the team, and Milan will bring us a little bit of steel as well in midfield in the absence of Prince. So the other thing is, again, looking at how we are at the moment, the 16 or 17 that have been named is the 16 or 17 that's available. So we are really being dealt quite a bad hand at the moment by injuries and suspensions.
Yeah, very much a team that selects itself at the moment, as you say, because of the players who are unavailable. Before we look a little bit more into this afternoon's lineups and prospects, we just want to say a massive thank you to all of the club sponsors, everybody who has continued to support the club through this unusual season. We've got some messages from them, and we particularly want to thank today's streaming sponsors, long-time supporters of the club, Chris Wright Road Planing. So thank you very much for your support. Here's some messages from those sponsors now. So thank you to our club sponsors, all those supporters who have stuck with us through this weird old time, and especially Chris Wright Road Planing. In fact, actually where I'm sat here, where we're sat in the main stand at Nethermore, all spread out. The little media team occupies the entire main stand actually at the moment. We're directly opposite the Chris Wright Road Planing Limited pitchside board, which has been here for a number of years, and we're really grateful to them for their support. So, AD, this afternoon looks like a decent afternoon for playing football. One of the questions I had, and you might have watched the warm-ups a little bit more closely than me, was whether after the soggy weather we've had recently, whether the pitch might be a little bit heavy today, and what effect you think that might have on the game.
I mean, certainly if you look at the bottom corner down by the sponsors' lounges, that's really quite heavy down there. there doesn't seem to have been a dry day for about 3 weeks. So, in terms of how I'm sure lots of pitches will be, it's probably as good as you're going to get. But yeah, I suspect it will have some impact because it isn't as slick as perhaps we might like it. And the bounce looks a little bit uneven in the warm-up. So I think it may well have some impact, yeah.
Thanks, Adi. So the first team is coming out onto the pitch under the new arrangement that we have. Southport making their way out of the tunnel, and in a moment's time, I think we will see Guiseley emerge from the clubhouse entrance. We've another video to show you, just for the Mixlr listeners. Sorry we can't bring you the audio from this, but this is a message, I think, from our league sponsors. So welcome to Nethermoor, everybody who's tuning in during this afternoon's build-up as we wait for the home team to join us out here on the pitch. I'm going to introduce this afternoon's match commentator. You've seen him already if you're watching the YouTube channel, but we'll get him to stick to the football now. Colin Robertson's with us here.
Thank you, Nick. And it's a lovely pre-Christmas afternoon. It's dry. We've had some rain around here in these parts. Hopefully the pitch will hold up and not be too soggy, but really excited to get this game underway and positive feelings around the ground after the addition of Milan Butterfield to the squad, the midfielder who's joined us on loan as well for this spell. Nick's gone through the sides. We're just waiting for Guiseley to come out. Southport are out in advance. It has the feel of a sort of Sunday league, doesn't it, the way this starts nowadays. But just while we're waiting for Guiseley to come out, a quick question to you both. What's your final thoughts just ahead of this game? Adi, your final feeling ahead of this game this afternoon?
Well, I think, given the what we've got in this week, there's a deal of creativity which we've perhaps not had. Certainly Milan gives us a physicality. I remember him best at Kidderminster, where I used to think he was always very impressive. From speaking to him beforehand, he seems to have a really good attitude. So, but it'll be a tight game, as it seems at the moment every game is for us.
Well, you can hear the music, and you probably can tell that means that the teams are on their way out. Guiseley just coming out of the bar, and that's just where they're getting changed nowadays. It's not an indictment on their preparation, and making their way onto the field as Southport just await the Lions to join them. A very big thank you to everyone who has supported the crowdfunder stream. Alistair J. Mitchell, come on you Lions. Michael Astarjan, I like the idea of this donation model and free live streaming the games. Hope you get as much revenue as you can. Southport found up the port. Good to have you on board with us. And Frank Hill too, saying good luck with your funding target. Deb and Kev as well. Benjamin's effort. Great idea to take donations and play the stream for free. So thank you very much, everyone. I can't read all the comments out, but your support is hugely gratefully received. And you can join us or you can make your contribution from the link on the crowdfunder link that's on the YouTube stream, as you can make your donation also by going to crowdfunder, and the link is Guiseley AFC Matchday support. So let's just go down the two sides before we get underway. For the visitors, Daniel Hanford in goal, Jack Doyle, Charles Oliver, Adam Anson, Russell Benjamin, George Newell, David Morgan, Matthew Challoner, Connor Woods, Marcus Carver, Jack Bainbridge, and then on the bench, Niall Watson, Dylan Vassallo, Cameron Antwi, Mohammed Ali and Jordan Archer. For the Lions, it's Brad Wade in goal, John Lafudu, George Cantrell, Andre Jones, Hamza Ben Sharif, LeBrun Becker, Kane Felix, Milan Butterfield, John Wafula, Josh Parsons, Nathan Newell, and then on the bench, Chukwudulu Molokwu, Gabriel Johnson, Brad Nicholson, Miracle Okafor, and Adam Hoare. The referee today, Ben Wyatt, is assisted by James Unwin and Stuart Richardson. And the referee's whistle, goes. We have a false start as George Newell comes into the opposite half a little bit too quickly. And the ball is immediately played into the Southport half and picked up by the new Lion, Milan Butterfield. The ball forward from Lafudu into Southport's half and quickly returned. Now a slip there from Mbeka. It's picked up now by Marcus Carver. He curls the ball to the edge of the penalty area, helped along by Connor Woods. Gets it again back on the edge of the 18-yard box, takes a run down to the byline, just overruns it, and it's out of play and behind for a goal kick.
Milan Butterfield then signing. First observations, tall player, imposing figure in the middle of the park. His socks, you know I like to appreciate this, his socks were around his ankles before the game even started. You know I like a good untidy looking player. We were talking about this last week with George Cantrell as well. But he looks like a big lad, and we'll wait to see what his first few touches on the ball are like.
There's a free kick to Guiseley. A foul on Felix, who's stayed to the ground. It's played forward by Andre Jones and then runs out of play and behind for a throw-in. Just keep an eye on Felix, who banged his fist to the floor after that free kick was awarded. He's up on his feet. He looks like he's okay.
I suppose one of the biggest questions coming into this afternoon is the same question we've had for a few weeks now, is how close to fully fit is Kane Felix? We know how important he can be if he's sharp and full of energy, but we know he's been carrying an injury. It's been obvious he's been a little bit subdued in recent weeks since returning.
I think the other thing as well about the injury that Kane sustained is it took a while to diagnose it. But it's also one that, having had the treatment that he's had, it takes a little while to get over the treatment as well. So that might be having, they did say it might have some effect on him for about a week and a half. So
the ball played out to the back there from Hamza Ben Sharif. Goes up to the halfway line, intercepted by Jack Doyle. He plays the ball out of play and out for a throw-in for the Lions in right back position, which Brunham Becker steps up midway through the Lions half. We know he's got a good throw. Goes back to Lafudu, who in turn plays it across the back line and into the feet of George Cantrell. Cantrell now to Newell. And Butterfield takes over in midfield, goes back to Newell. He plays it up, taken down. Ball in from Wafula into Cantrell. Left-hand side, he's making some good headway, but his cross is too close to Daniel Hadford, and the goalkeeper claims it at the near post, and it will be Southport that will restart from the back. But good movement there from Cantrell.
Yeah, for George, the biggest challenge has been getting used to another new position now as a centre-back, as the back one of three, and we know the team have to keep an eye because George is so willing and he will get forward. And we know that he's very effective further forward as well. He's not really a centre-back, is he? You know, in the traditional sense. And he's fortunately, he's got a good understanding of the game, so he'll learn the role quite quickly. But we have to keep an eye on the defensive cover. The other early thing is Josh Parsons and Milan Butterfield sort of taking it in turns to push forwards towards the two strikers, Felix and Wafula. And we know that there was a big gap in the team left after Andy Kellett went off with injury. And we want to see which of those is there willing with a run and a clever pass at a key moment.
Challenge comes in there from Doyle to stop, I think it was Lafudu on his tracks. It's going to be a throw-in on this right-hand side that Mbeka will take. It's taking its time to be thrown in field. Felix gets it, tries to spin. It's chased down there by Parsons. Goalkeeper cleanly clears it up to the halfway line, where Cantrell just prods the ball forward into the Southport half. It's played down the right-hand side now. Chase on here for Carver. Marcus Carver up against Hamza Ben Sharif. Ben Sharif clears, but half-heartedly into Connor Woods. Cantrell dispossesses him, and the Lions come away with the ball. Butterfield spraying it out to the right-hand side. Now a chance for Lafudu to have a run. Parsons is onto it and claims the ball. Mbeka and Parsons combine neatly there, and then as it goes up towards Wafula, it's dispossessed by Southport, and Charles Oliver rather clears the ball up to the halfway line. There's nice movement here though by the visitors. Morgan, he's brought down, and a free kick is given to the visiting side, about 10 yards in from the edge of the penalty area of the centre circle. just to the right-hand side of it. A good chance now for a set play for the visitors, AD.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the moment, you've got to get a foot on the midfield, because their number 6 will just run the game. You know, he's been around, and he's managed to milk a foul there. There's a foul earlier, but he's been clever with the way he's gone down there. So, and the way Southport are in the air, this is not the best place to give a free kick away.
Jack Bainbridge is up there, as is Adam Anson, on the edge of the 18-yard box, looking to get onto this ball that goes in towards a penalty spot, but over hit slightly and into Brad Wade, who rolls out here to try and get Wafula away, but well watched by Russell Benjamin, who slides in to knock the ball out of play. It'll be a Guiseley throw, right back position.
Right idea from Brad Wade to turn the ball over quickly and try and come out on the break. And Wafula just misjudged that first bounce off of the turf and then couldn't get it under control. Fortunate to win a throw-in the end.
Ball into the Southport half from Umbeka. It's taken down. Newell sends the ball over the top for Southport. It's cleared, but Connor Woods gets a good head onto it to nod the ball out to the right-hand side where Challoner is, and into the area. Morgan across towards the back post. A good cross as well, as Jack Doyle was charging in, and a good sliding challenge comes in by Parsons to intercept. The ball behind for a corner. Pressure on Guiseley here. Well,
exactly what you said, AD. The midfielder Morgan, the captain Morgan there with a clever movement, found himself in huge amounts of space on the far side of the penalty area as we look at it.
Whoever heard of a Captain Morgan, eh?
It's not that cold today, otherwise I'd be fully advocating a bit of that up here.
Corner from the left-hand side just held up because there's a little bit of pushing and shoving for the referee, Ben Wyatt, to have a conversation with the two sides about. I think you two could get a job in branding.
I mean, when you see a situation like this with a referee, how you can decide who's doing what to whom in there, I have no idea.
There is a gaggle of players around the back post. Yellow and white shirts in there. Ball goes up to the back post, curled in, but it goes out and behind for a goal kick. But it was a wickedly played in ball from Connor Woods from that left-hand side.
I mean, that was straight out of the Liam Watson book of free kicks, wasn't it? Let's have a crowd scene, then try and get somebody free at the back post. The free kick was excellent, in fairness, just nobody made that gamble on the back post, did they?
And if you are joining us from Southport today, you're very welcome to watch the stream. We sort of have semi-pretensions of not being too biased, but we do sort of follow our own team.
Now,
here.
Kane Felix has got away from his man on the right-hand side, takes a shot, saved by the goalkeeper. He worked his way really well down that right flank, had no right to win the ball, and got clear. The goalkeeper spread well to stop Felix from putting the lines in front, but a good counter-attack there from Guiseley. But now they have to watch a counter from Southport, played back by Newell. George Newell back to the back line, and a good long ball forward, which is well watched by Nathan Newell for Guiseley. Cantrell, he collects just in front of the home dugout, is dispossessed. It's going to be a Southport throw, though, which is taken quickly. Morgan takes the ball back. And once again, Southport return it to the goalkeeper, Daniel Hanford, who produced an excellent save there from Kane Felix's run.
Well, it's answered the question of whether Kane Felix is sharp and fit. He was on that like a flash, and really good opportunity through one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
It was a slightly curious finish, though, wasn't it? I mean, the keeper has done well, but I thought Kane's finish was odd in some ways.
I suppose it's a reminder that he's sort of converting to being a striker gradually, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, I completely agree.
Southport now with the ball inside the Lions half. Butterfield's working back to get it clear, rather unconventionally, rather nerve-wrackingly, playing the ball to George Cantrell inside the penalty area, but it worked out okay to the extent that we got it to the halfway line. Southport recover the second phase, though. Cantrell involved again, this time nodding the ball out of play, preventing it going from behind for a corner by the finest of margins. It's going to be a throw just by the corner flag right-hand side. Still 0-0 after 10 minutes gone. Goals elsewhere, which we'll talk about, but this is a good spell, this for the visitors, I would say, in the opening 10.
I think it's also the case that we've been slightly sloppy in possession in our own half as well. There's 2 or 3 situations have been created by our own lack of attention on the ball.
This looks like it's shaping up to be a long throw from that right-hand side. There are players in the 6-yard box, 2 on Brad Wade, as Southport look to get the numbers in there. It's cleared, returned into the box, and surely the flag will go up. No, it doesn't. The goal stands. George Newell was in the 6-yard area. It looked to the world, to me, he might have been offside. The referee has gone to look at the assistant. Andre Jones is appealing, but a simple ball in, and, well, George Newell was free, and the Lions find themselves a goal behind. But the protests are about the decision of the assistant on that far side to keep his flag down, and for what looked from this angle like someone who's clearly offside.
He's 2 yards off. If you actually look at the way he scores, it is unconvincing. It's appalling from the linesman, truthfully.
The ball itself was the right idea, wasn't it? It was, the ball that bounces first inside the 6-yard box, but slightly in front of the goalkeeper, always causes uncertainty. And the ball's landed in between the defence and the keeper. I guess what we're saying is, from our point of view, is it's landed so far behind the defence that we think the striker who was there, or the Southport player who was there, was probably in an offside position when he tucked it in. And like you say, he didn't look that certain himself. As he took the finish, whether there was any point in taking it or not. Nevertheless, Guiseley have conceded an early goal.
Yeah, we're a goal behind, but you have to remember the angle we're sat watching this at isn't obviously anywhere near as good as the assistant on that far side. And he's just indicated to the players there was a player coming out who was playing him onside. So the replay will, obviously the camera doesn't lie unless it's VAR. But the camera will probably help clear that up, and you'll probably have a view on YouTube and an opportunity to replay that goal.
Yeah, if you can confirm or deny how it looked to us, then head over to the Mixlr chat room, which is where you can also listen to audio-only commentary, though if you're watching us on YouTube already, you won't want that. But head over to the Mixlr chat room once you've watched the replay and drop something in the chat box there. Let us know what you made of that goal. We don't read out the messages from the YouTube chat room. And if you read it in any given match day, you'll know why.
Yeah, that's true. Now a long throw from Cantrell down the left-hand side. Wafula's chasing. Goes up towards the corner flag. Can't get there. The challengers come in. And in the end, it's a goal kick. But disappointing start for the Lions. Positive start for Southport. 13 minutes gone. Guiseley trailed by a 1-0. A goal that at first glance looks controversial, but I'm sure we'll see and hear more about it. The assistant right in the line that allowed George Newell to head home for the visitors after just 11 minutes, unchallenged inside the 6-yard box.
I suppose the challenge, AD, is getting the players focused again as quickly as possible after something like that, because bad can turn to really bad very quickly, can't
yeah, I mean, I'm sure Russell will be saying, you've got to stay in the game. The next 10 minutes you stay in the game, because it's very easy to start feeling sorry for yourself. I mean, certainly the reaction of the players suggests that there was a case to be answered, but I'll be interested to see the replay. Felix
now in the box. He's made a bit of a headway. He's played the ball across towards Parsons. And in the end, it's cleared and knocked out of play. But that was Kane Felix's pace coming into play. And that certainly helped give Guiseley a bit more of an outlet there.
Well, this is what we need to move the team up the field. We don't have a target man or someone who can hold the ball and let the players catch up. So we have to lead with pace. And when Kane does that, he can take the rest of the team up there with him.
Long throw now to come from this right-hand side. Mbeka launches it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It was a good delivery up towards Hamza Ben Sharif. But Southport defend that well and stoutly under pressure. Lafuda now seemingly knocks George Newell down, but the referee unmoved. Lafuda keeps working down that right-hand side. Fresh from his midweek exertions for Ashton United. He's now challenged, and it'll be a throw-in for Guiseley just up from the corner flag that gives Mbeka a chance again to launch this one into the box. He's got Hamza Ben Sharif. He's got Milan Butterfield, of course, as well in there. Butterfield nods on towards the back post. His 6'4" frame proving useful in that situation, but unfortunately nobody able to capitalise on the flick on, and it goes out for a Guiseley throw in the other angle.
That's so frustrating as well, Colin, because if you look at the way that throw's been worked, any one of your front three needs to be gambling on that inside the 6-yard box.
Another long one in towards this near post, this time not reaching a white shirt, and this time the referee has indicated, I don't know quite whether that might have been a foul throw. Maybe Becker's stepped his foot over the line, and it's going to be a Southport throw on the far side. Frustrating end to a positive move, that for the Lions.
Yeah, and we just have a moment's lull there while we wait for that to be retaken. And we're reminded by the quiet around the ground that none of you are here with us, and that sucks, frankly, you know, and it's not great. But thank you all for watching us. And we're watching as guys who want to try and work their way back into this game after that goal on about 13 minutes, I think it was. I'm being told by Joe, who sat down watching the YouTube, but he thinks on the replay it was onside. So there you go. Proof that...
now there's a deflection. Almost gives Wafula a chance as the clearance from Jack Bainbridge just bounced back off Wafula and back to the goalkeeper. Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
No, just proof that I don't trust my own eyes when I'm sat up here. I know I call most of the decisions wrong, and I've been very happy to be corrected in the past and today, and you know, every time that we ever do this, forever after more.
Now a good ball into the box once again by Morgan for Southport. This time the Lions managed to hold firm and get the ball rolled through to Brad Wade. I have to say thank you again for everyone who supported us on the crowdfunder. Tony Hay, who's given some very warm comments. Thank you. A Southport supporter who's donated. David Linstead, Julian Forshaw, up the port, another Southport supporter. Now Wafula came away with the ball there from a long one forward from a crowd of players, and then instantly is dispossessed. The ball goes long and into the Lions half, and this time George Cantrell is pushed over by, I think, Connor Woods on that occasion, and Guiseley get the free kick. Can't take his eyes off this game for a second, can you?
Have you noticed, Colin, it looks like a fairly treacherous bounce in our penalty area as well. It's a very flat bounce, which is something we need to maybe try and exploit in the second half.
It's usually a question we like to ask you, AD, is, you know, what's the pitch like? And you're not able to get out there, are you, at the moment, because of the zonal restrictions? But it does look heavier than it's been previously, this pitch. Butterfield on the halfway line, up against Morgan. Butterfield does well. Gets the ball back from Newell. Nice ball into the edge of the 18-yard box where Wafula, well, he launches it up in the air and into the car park. Hits a car. I'm just checking whether that might be mine. No, I don't think so. Not from the angle.
I mean, with the quality of finishing we've had so far this season, I'm surprised more windshields haven't been broken in the bowling ground car park there. But I'm afraid that was another stinker, wasn't it?
It was a bit, wasn't it?
We have lost one, actually.
Oh, have we?
We have had a broken windshield.
I didn't know that. It wasn't mine.
Now Guiseley pick up the ball with Wafula. Felix lays it in field towards Lafudu. Back here to Parsons. He drills it towards goal and just basically hits Wafula in the midriff. Mbeka from right midfield crosses in towards the back post where Nathan Newell is charging in. He doesn't win the header, but Guiseley still retain possession. And this one will be crossed back into the box, in towards Wafula, who scores. A good header, a brilliant ball in. And Wafula was this time on the spot with perfection to head home and level things. It's Guiseley 1, Southport 1.
That's a textbook finish, and he took it well. Ball coming in at the near post. He gets in front of his defender, heads it down into the ground where it's very difficult for the goalkeeper to get a limb to it. Good finish by Wafula, and 1-1 it is, all to play for.
And I think the other thing there was absolutely terrific cross. What a great cross that was. Interestingly, and we've not had a chance to comment on it, we've looked quite dangerous going forward, but we've sort of, I don't know, there's a pass that's been a little bit short or been a bit careless, but we certainly look as though we've had a goal in this today so far.
Well, it's a good start, this game. 1-1 after the first 20 minutes. Guiseley equalising just now with Jonathan Wafula heading home. And Southport with plenty of attacking threat as well. They took the lead after 10 minutes. So the visitors now come forward with Marcus Carver just winning a throw.
Well, John Lafudu's done well there. He made the mistake and gave the ball away, and then didn't dwell on it, turned round, won it back, and all we lost in the process was that throw-in.
Oliver now for Southport. Plays the ball forward. Cleared on the edge of the penalty area. Guys, you just have to hold firm here. Lafudu up to the halfway line. Wafula just hesitant and dispossessed well by Charles Oliver. The ball moved out to the right flank. Cross comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's scrambled away, but then put behind at the post by George Newell. This time the flag is up. I'm not sure if that was for offside or just to indicate the goal kick. But it was Marcus Carver who was in there, who had the chance originally. The Lions scramble it away. At the back of the post was George Newell, but he couldn't turn it in. Thankfully, the Lions ride that risk that time.
Well, having got their way back into the game, really need to consolidate now.
And now it's another attacking move, this time for the Lions, and it's Josh Parsons on the ball. Right-hand side, curls in, headed away. Second phase with the Lions, Andre Jones. Plays it out to the right-hand side. This time it's Parsons' chance to take it with his left foot. Kills it in flat this time, and it's cleared by Southport. Counter-attack could be on until Andre Jones pokes her foot out excellently to win the ball back for the Lions. Down this right flank, Mbeka into Lafudu. His cross into the box, a bit low, cleared. Jones again collects that second phase, keeps the pressure on. Butterfield finds Parsons, edge of the D, dispossessed. And the counter-attack could be on for Southport, who move the ball quickly up to the halfway line, where Connor Woods has a run now at George Cantrell, as Nathan Newell joins in defensively. The Lions get bodies back, they hold firm. Ball back from Andre Jones, ricochets off Hamza Ben Sharif, and in pursuit goes Marcus Carver. As he closes Ben Sharif down, the ball is cleared. It goes out for a Guiseley throw in left-back position.
How has the referee watched George Cantrell get flattened there and just...
It was like it was so far off the ball that it wasn't relevant to the game, but it was relevant because it meant Hamza was stuck running down to the... Yeah, exactly.
We've obviously got a linesman on the far side who's decided not to participate anyway, so...
It's good to have the one part of the soundscape back in at Nethermore, isn't it, with Adi.
There's some big differences, about how we're playing so far in this game to the last couple of games I've seen here at home. One is Butterfield and Parsons both look a lot more willing to get forward and try and get on the ball and try and get into the box moving forward. Another is how much sharper.
Now Southport move the ball into the box really well, and this time a fraction wide from Marcus Carver. And Brad Wade is fuming with his defence, screaming at them, because that's another ball just delivered into the danger zone, just on the edge of the 6-yard box. And once again, the Lions ride their luck, and Southport fail to capitalise.
Well, absolutely riding our luck, but I'll finish complimenting them before we talk about the defending. The second one I was going to say is how much sharper Wafula and Kane Felix in particular look, running towards goal up front. And the third is we're actually using the width properly, and maybe that's just that Mbeka and Cantrell are getting more used to their roles. Maybe it's that we trust more the work that Andre Jones is doing now that he's settling into the team. But both Lafudu and Newell are offering us a genuine wide option and stretching the game out, which we haven't used very well in other games I've been to recently.
Ball forward onto the halfway line, and Butterfield wins it. He runs away from the halfway line with players in pursuit, but plays a nice ball into Wafula, who goes back to Andre Jones, splits the ball out to the right-hand side. Lafudu up against the defender. He's got an option on that right flank in the form of Parsons, who crosses with his left foot in up towards Wafula, but this time the header is a more difficult one to complete, and he just heads it up and over the bar and behind for a goal kick. Still 1-1, 24 minutes gone.
Well, this is just like watching two boxers swinging at each other, isn't it?
Yeah, in fairness, if I was a neutral, it's a very good game to watch at the moment. And I must say that to compliment Southport, the two near misses they've had recently, the lead-up play on those two movements has been tremendous.
Now goal kick, and already from goal kicks, attacking moves seem to be created today. There's the header away. Falls to David Morgan. Morgan's fouled on the edge of the centre circle, and it'll be a free kick to Southport. Quick rundown of the scores. Alfreton leading Chorley 1-0. Brackley 1, Blythe 1. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Leamington 1. Hereford 0, Fylde 1, and York 1, Spennymoor 0. All the rest 0-0. Guiseley 1-1. Highest scoring game so far. As Southport lean into the attack once again with this set play, which is being orchestrated by Morgan. Floats it in towards the back post, but this time the delivery is poor and it's behind for a goal kick. But, well, first quarter of the game, satisfying watch. What do you reckon of the Lions' performance then, overall? Oh, I'll tell you what, I've just gone too soon. There's more action happening because Kane Felix has got away down the right-hand side. He's pulled down by Charles Oliver, and I would think that would be the first yellow card of the afternoon.
Well, I feel like he had to commit there, the defender, and absolutely no complaint about the yellow card that will come his way as a result, because he was nowhere near the ball, moving at that pace and going to ground to make the challenge. It was always going to end one way.
You've turned your mic off, Adi.
Perhaps the difference between two teams. We were talking about this before with one or two of the injured players, that other teams seem quite happy to take that foul, and no problems with the foul. It's a sort of that's the modern game, but we sometimes don't commit those sorts of fouls, and perhaps it's something that this youngish team needs to learn. But yeah, I mean, Kane takes a foul, the guy takes the card, and that's the modern game, isn't it?
We get the free kick now on this right-hand side. Over it is Andre Jones. There's one option. Parsons the other. They're trying to get the space in the box to create problems.
Looks like whip from Parsons, doesn't it?
It could be. His left arm up from Andre Jones. 5 players in the box, including Wafula on the edge of the 6-yard box. 4 round the centre, the penalty spot. Referee, again, having another conversation about this lining up. Jones feigns to go to it. Parsons delivers in towards the near post, headed away at the near post. Parsons will take it down. No, he'll let that one go out for a throw. And that's a call to LeBrun and Becker to come and take the long one. Interesting, we're going with LeBrun and Becker today, not George Cantrell on the long throws.
Yeah, George struggling to get that distance. I don't know if we've got a natural long throw in the team. Certainly, if you're using a centre-back to take your long throw, that wouldn't be your first choice, would it?
Nope. Referee just having a chat with the 2 captains, I think. It's obviously a shame we can't have fans in the ground, but we're really grateful to our sponsors today. As the throw comes in, I'll just talk about them. I thought I had more time than that. Southport defend it. This game gives you no time. And they turn defence into attack quite quickly. Nathan Newell, though, heads well, clear, but it's collected by George Newell. He sends it down the right-hand side now, and there's a chance for the ball to be played into the box once again. Headed away by Becker, this time a free kick. And it's going to be a Guiseley chance just to slow play. But it's Chris Wright Road Planing who I wanted to give a shout-out to, who are today's matchday sponsor or live stream sponsor. We're really grateful for all of our sponsor support this season. It's been absolutely tremendous in these very difficult times. As we're really grateful for you for your support through the crowdfunder on you can click through on the YouTube stream on our pay as you feel. We're trying to keep the stream free, keep it inclusive, enable everyone to connect with the club, and your generosity, the generosity of, and thank you again to all those Southport fans who have contributed to the stream today. We're really very grateful for your kindness and your generosity today. As Guiseley earn a free kick down the left-hand side as George Cantrell goes down under a challenge. And this is a good chance, a good set play, a good opportunity for the Guiseley.
Yeah, and once again we see all the tall players heading forwards into the box. The system today as the width coming from Newell and Lafudu is that they'll be the 2 who are left behind at each set piece, with George Newell, the lone forward for Southport. Otherwise, we're loading the box. All the tall players already inside it, and Kane Felix and George Cantrell lurking on the edge, ready to make a run as this ball comes in.
I'd like to just see somebody sitting off 10 for the bits and pieces when it breaks down. It's happened 3 or 4 times, and we're not winning that ball there. That's the first time we've done it. Ball's
been cleared from the free kick, but goes out to the right-hand side, where Becker can pick up for a cross from that flank and does really well, floats it up in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. A leap from Hamza Ben-Sharif, can't get it down, but it's still not cleared, and it's headed just wide by Wafula. Eventually, Southport can breathe a sigh of relief, because that was an excellent ball in there from Becker. Hamza Ben-Sharif couldn't connect with it cleanly enough to get it towards goal, but did keep it live. The ball then nodded up in the air. Wafula with the header. The goalkeeper seemed flat-footed, It went past the upright and behind for a goal kick, still 1-1.
Some really interesting physical battles developing all over the pitch here. There's half a dozen sort of confrontation areas all over the pitch where what is quite a physical game is quite fascinating to watch players almost like old-fashioned.
Oh, now's a chance here for Southport. They get the ball into the box. A challenge comes in as Newell almost gets onto the end of it. The goalkeeper, Brad Wade, comes across. Guiseley clear, be out for a throw. But there's a claim for a foul on Andre Jones. Referee unmoved. It will be a Southport throw from the right-hand side. Sorry, I had to cut across you there because, again, the action just breaks open.
It developed so quickly, didn't it? But, no, I think Andre's taken one in a sort of a difficult area there.
Yeah, right on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah. As Dr. Nick speaks again. So it's going to be a throw for Southport. Right-hand side. Still 1-1. And Guiseley, again, having to defend as both sides have really taken the game to each other. This one, a long one into the box. Bainbridge goes to head it. And in the end, the assistant on that far side sees something to give Guiseley a free kick. Again, not really sure what that was from this angle. But it's enough to help us breathe a sigh of relief.
Appears to have given a foul throw.
Oh, that's the second one he's given today. You don't often see these given.
No. Nor offsides in his case either.
The first half hour of this game has really whipped by, hasn't it? You know, it's been a good watch so far. Both teams having plenty of chances. I wonder how long we can keep this pace up for.
Certainly of the games I've seen this season, this has been the most enjoyable to watch.
Ball forced all the way back to Daniel Hanford. He plays it up in the air. And Butterfield can't head it cleanly, but he does send it into the chest of Andre Jones, and the Lions do clear. It goes up towards Kane Felix. There is a flag up against Felix, though. So it'll be a free kick to Southport. The goals in the National League not coming through thick and fast, really. It's still Alfreton 1, Chorley 1, Brackley 1, Blythe 1, Boston 0, Chester 0, Park Avenue 0, Leamington 1, Curzon 0, Gloucester 0. Of course, Curzon signed Dan Cowan this week. Gateshead 0, Kidderminster 0. Guiseley 1, Southport 1, Hereford 0, Fylde 1, Kettering 0, Telford 0, York 1, Spennymoor 0. And a free kick.
Because it's December at 3:30 in the afternoon, we're seeing a nice purple sunset away to our right, just on the underside of the clouds, just a little bit of gap in the clouds. First time we've seen that in a few days. And the floodlights are on. 3:30 in the afternoon.
It takes us back to the FA Trophy at Halifax all those years ago, Nick.
Oh dear. We can always rely on you for a good description of the skyline. Clearance from Newell. It goes out of the Lions' hands as it's recovered. Bainbridge sends it down the right-hand side. Guiseley recover possession. Nathan Newell sends it back to George Cantrell, who goes down. Not overly convincingly. But the free kick is given to Guiseley. And we get the ball away to the halfway line.
Andre Jones has milked space tremendously well so far, just sitting in little pockets and just getting and giving.
Now he plays the ball into the box. Wafula, he's onside, goes down to the left-hand side. Plays it back now. Can Newell deliver a good cross? He can. Into the box, it just over the head of Kane Felix. Picked up by Lafuda at the back post. His shot, couldn't keep it down under pressure. Fires it up and over, and actually into the small-sided playing court behind the goal. So it will be a Southport goal kick with the score still 1-1, heading into the last 10 minutes of this first half.
Well, when Southport had a couple of really good opportunities back-to-back after we'd equalised, I was starting to think maybe we were purely riding our luck, but in the last few minutes we've had a couple of really good opportunities ourselves that makes it feel a little bit more like even at the moment and more reflective of the scoreline. But the main surprise is that there have only been 2 goals, one for each team, and actually there could have been several more.
Well, a big thank you to everyone who's joined the crowdfunder donation list. A huge thank you to everyone who's putting their money in, and really grateful to all you Southport fans as well. James Partridge, really thank you for your donation. Catherine and Dee up the port as well. Jason Wright too. Thank you so much for your support today. And Mandy Cantrell, Come on, you Lions. We need a home win as well on the support. And for all of you who've donated without making a comment, also a huge thank you as well today. 1-1. Now the ball moved up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Guiseley managed to get it clear as Southport press once again. This time Butterfield, a slightly soft clearance, gives possession back to the visitors. Picked up here by Carver. He goes back. There'll be a free kick for a foul by Butterfield on Jack Doyle. This set play to the left-hand side of the Guiseley half. And a chance now for players like Adam Anson to find their way into the box. And the big men are the target for Connor Woods here, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was funny that from Butterfield. I was watching him thinking, oh, good, we've got someone who's confident on the ball, willing to hold it, spin and look for an opportunity, and then obviously the pass led to this.
Free kick floats in. It's flicked up and just over onto the roof of the net as Brad Wade was scurrying back just to make sure the ball didn't creep in under the crossbar. And it's going to be a corner to Southport.
It's noticeable here as well what Southport have been really good at is that their experienced midfield players have picked up on every breakdown by ourselves and created something on every single occasion. I think that's 5 times now when it's broken down and the 3 experienced players in midfield have just simply picked a pass out and created a situation. It's a comment on experience and very considerability in there as well.
6 players inside that 6-yard box. Guys, do get it clear as the ball is whipped into that area. Felix works back really hard to try and take the ball off Matthew Challoner, but Challoner holds himself firm and plays the ball back, and Southport then work it down the right-hand side. Cantrell forced to nod the ball out of play. Another long throw opportunity. Almost like a set play, the throw-ins for both sides. Jack Doyle's going across to take this one for the visitors. So he goes short this time. Knocked back by Morgan. The cross comes in a little flat-footed from Doyle, and Guiseley can get it away with Newell down the left-hand side. Stopped in his track by Morgan, and it'll be a throw into the Lions. The slightly picky referee putting it back about 2 yards from where Cantrell originally took it. Away we go though, and Andre Jones now steps up towards the halfway line, lays it to the left into Cantrell. Up here to Felix, a back heel from Felix that doesn't find any target. Southport win possession back again. Up the field, into the Lions half. Headed away by Ben Sharif. Won back again by the visitors. Morgan tries to play it forward. It ricochets off Butterfield into Parsons. Butterfield gets the ball back, but then is dispossessed, but does win Guiseley a throw on the halfway line. No sense. This game is a strange sense. At any point, an opportunity could start to develop. A ball over the top, a ball down one of the channels, and we've got a goal-scoring chance for either side.
Well, yeah, but Southport have shown that they're able to find gaps in our defence and gaps between midfield and defence as well, and get onto Brad Wade's goal quickly. And we've used that bit of pace and that bit of width and that little bit of extra movement further forward in midfield from the 2 new signings a little bit better. So we're carrying a threat as well.
Ball in left back now for Guiseley. Southport just trying to commit players forward to press a bit higher up the field. Butterfield held on the ball. He goes down. No foul, but nonetheless, Guiseley come away with it with a surging run from Nathan Newell. Goes up to the edge of the area, fires a shot in. Looks like it's tipped over by the goalkeeper. Inspirational stuff there from Newell. He charged forward after the midfield move broke down, collected the ball, got to the edge of the 18-yard box, fired in a shot with his left foot, tipped over by Hanford. It's a corner to Guiseley on the right-hand side.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, this willingness to turn and face goal and move towards it more quickly. We've been a little bit static in recent fixtures, and you know, Nathan is completely fearless. He went for it, and he fancied himself, he backed himself to take the shot, and he's forced the goalkeeper to tip it over to be sure that it definitely won't go under the bar.
Corner comes in. There's a scramble inside the 6-yard box as Hamza Ben Sharif kind of nods it down in that area. In the end, Hanford bravely, under a crowd of players, clutches the ball for Southport. Still 1-1 and 5 more minutes of this to go till the break. Kind of don't want the half to come, do you?
There'll be a few tired legs, I think, at the break, but as a watcher, no, I want this to carry on straight through. It's rattling along. You know, we've watched some games recently here, Colin, that have lasted 5 or 6 hours. You know, the way they've dragged on, and you know, it's been pretty stodgy stuff. But this is good from both teams.
Southport have a throw now. This time on the right-hand side. Doyle across there again.
Once again, Colin, though, a careless breakdown from ourselves. 2 careless passes, and because these long throws are such a weapon, and because of the crowd seeing the box, you know, we really have got to cut that out.
You're right, and the danger is still here now as this ball goes in towards the near post. Headed away, but will be recovered by Morgan. Morgan cut out by Parsons. Good challenge. Parsons impressed in this first half.
Morgan's done so well there, just to drop off that 10 yards and just look for the game, and just showing, you know, showing his qualities, because he's all over the pitch at the moment in that little zone between the sort of halfway and the 18-yard box, essentially running the game without apparently breaking sweat.
Now the ball back into the Lions box. A shot comes in, it flashes past the upright, and Brad Wade happily watches that one go past the post. That was an excellent effort, a turn and shot that almost had Guiseley 2 goals to 1 down as we head towards the break. But exactly as you said, a simple opportunity created from 2 broken down passes.
What a tremendous turn that was, though, wasn't it, from him?
Now the ball over the top here as Guiseley get away on the counter-attack this time. Kane Felix in towards the edge of the area. Good tackling comes in from Anson. It's still not cleared, though. Felix battling with Anson, trying to win the ball back off the defender. Felix challenges, wins it back. Guiseley recover the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box, but are dispossessed. No foul as Wafula goes down. The ball goes up to the halfway line. Hamza Ban-Sharif challenges. Again, no foul as Carver goes down.
All of that came about because we were willing to take a long goal kick, which is something we've sort of been talking about a little bit more in recent games because we didn't know what to make of it, really. But simple move forwards, flicked on for Wafula and Felix to chase, and suddenly the game stretched and we got an opportunity at their end instead of defending at ours. And you know, and I'd like to see a bit more of that, really.
There's also a potentially developing sort of physical situation between Hamza Ben-Sharif and Carver. There's been 3 or 4 coming together now, and words spoken to referee. And I think it's one to keep a bit of an eye on.
It's a good confrontation, isn't it? I like to see that. Centre forward, centre half, getting a little heated. Guiseley with a free kick, though. There's a flag for offside against the goal scorer, George Newell for Southport, who gave the visitors the lead on 10 minutes. Equaliser from Jonathan Wafula on 20. Shows that scores are level. There's been plenty of action, though, as well, as Lefudu charges forward now. The ball out to the right-hand side where Parsons dinks the ball into the box really well. Wafula can't get the cross before he's blocked by Charles Oliver, but does earn Guiseley a corner on this right-hand side. Some lovely play there.
He's been very busy today, John, hasn't he? I know he's missed a couple of chances, but he's taken one very well. But the way he's running the channels and mixing the play-up's been quite impressive. As Nick was saying before, we've seen lots of sort of static forward play in recent games, but all the front 3 are interchanging. They're dragging defenders all over the place. People prepared to come wide as well as down the middle. It's certainly more creative than it has been.
Now we'll have a corner, right-hand side. Guiseley have 4 players in the box to aim for. This one curls in towards the back post where Butterfield's trying to win it. Cantrell will get the second phase as it's punched away, but he's forced back, but can keep it live, and he does just by squeezing the ball through to Lefudu on the halfway line, who in turn plays a nice ball up here to Wafula. He tries to spin and take the ball past his man. Good covering challenge comes in here from Doyle. Guiseley will get the throw midway through the Southport half, right-hand side. And Becker steps forward. He will launch this one long, possibly. He sends it infield nicely here to Parsons. Parsons adjudged to have used his arm to control, frustratingly. And a free kick is given to Southport inside, just on the edge of their own penalty area. Again, nice move, though, wasn't it, to in some really good build-up play again.
Yeah, it's been impressive stuff, actually, and my first time seeing Josh Parsons, of course, and he seems to have settled in very quickly. He seems to be a willing player, as in terms of, you know, looking around for teammates and looking for pockets of space.
Oh, a slip here from Hamza Ben-Sharif. Cantrell's there to head the ball clear, as is Butterfield, but the press still on by Southport. Guys, you haven't quite completed the clearance and still unable to get forward momentum. Kane Felix is clipped. Will earn a free kick. We're going to have 1 minute of added time. A 1 minute added time board, AD, that was held up very clearly for us on this side of the ground, and with a perfect length of time for us to be able to have the opportunity to see the board.
I mean, I must say, Gary, as the Sorcerer's Apprentice, is doing a good job. Yeah.
That wasn't any sort of a dig, you know.
It's funny because it sounded a lot like one.
Cleared by Southport on the halfway line. As it goes up to the halfway line, the whistle goes for half time, and what a good half that has been of football to watch. Both sides have really taken the game to each other, and it was Southport who got the goal and the nose in front with George Newell on 10 minutes after what looked at first glance as being a goal with some controversy, but we understand it might well have been perfectly legitimate. The flag stayed down as Newell headed home on the edge of the 6-yard box. And then George Wafula with an excellent headed strike to level things up on 19 minutes. Half-time, all square. Fair reflection on the game so far. Guiseley 1, Southport 1.
A fantastic first half of football. For those of us watching here in person, and the vast majority of you watching us on YouTube this afternoon, opportunities at both ends of the pitch, a good tempo, loads of mistakes in midfield and defence from both teams to give opportunities for opposing attackers to get in and get chances on goal. We've seen a lot of shots, some of them on target. We've seen goalkeepers crowded. We've seen people spinning on the shoulder of the last man and trying to get in with a bit of pace or get a snapshot away. It's been a bit of, if you were an attacking coach, AD, there's been a bit of everything for us in that 45. If you were a defensive coach, you'd probably want to use these 15 minutes or these 10 minutes with your players to tighten a few things up at the break, wouldn't you?
Yeah, as a defensive coach, I mean, certainly, as you say, it's rare to see forwards dominating defenders as much as they have in real terms. But a credit to both teams, actually, in terms of the way the half's been played. And I really wouldn't want to call this one at all. It's been a very, very interesting first half.
Well, Thought fans, we're very much grateful and thankful for what you've done. A couple of other comments here from Philip Wright, good quality stream commentary. Thanks, Philip, and thanks for the donation. Dave Roberts, good luck from a Bromley fan exiled in Menston. I think I've seen you somewhere before, haven't I? Kelly Anders, my beloved Guiseley, come on you Lions. Nice to hear AD on the commentary today. I have to point that one out, AD. That's the only person who said that today. Other comments coming in, contributions. Joshua Foster, thank you so much. James Partridge, Simon Pope as well. We're really grateful for all of your contributions. We're going to hear from some of our much valued sponsors as well at halftime, and a couple of interesting highlights from previous games between the Lions and Southport gone by. We'll be back for the second half soon.
Quickly run through the two team lineups for you now, starting with Guiseley. Steve Drench, Ryan Tilson, Danny Lowe, Adam Lockwood, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Will Hatfield, George Maris, Liam Dickinson, and Rob Atkinson. On the bench, Adam Boyes, Tom Craddock, Dan Atkinson, Nicky Boschel and Zach Thompson. And for Southport, John Viscosi, Matty Challoner, Liam Nolan, Josh Thompson, Andy Wright, Cole Stockton, Gary Jones, Paul Rutherford, Louis Almond, Andre Jones and Ben Davis. And on the bench for the Sandgrounders, Courtney Cameron, Charlie Joyce, Jamie Allen, Will Beasley and Andy Coughlin.
Yeah, so I understand the lad who's just come in from Barnsley is basically the direct competition to Wayne Brooks.
Ball with Hatfield on the right hand side, brings it towards the Southport 18-yard box. Now the ball into the penalty area to find Wayne Brooks, but he's got two defenders ahead of him. Goes to get the cross in the end goes out off a Southport man for a Guiseley corner.
I hope you've all done your paperwork. We don't want we can't have a repeat incident.
Liam Dickinson does well, wins a free kick, couple of yards outside the Southport 18-yard box.
With that being said, I think Dickinson's taking the free kick,
yeah,
isn't he, actually?
I was just thinking myself, he's not there. Oh, wait, he's going to try and take this. It's either Dickinson or Brooksby. It is Dickinson. That is absolutely fantastic. Liam Dickinson, right-footed, around the wall, beyond the goalkeeper. 1-0 to the Lions.
Well, he calls it the side foot of doom, and that was a great free kick. I don't know how he's beaten the keeper. He's curled that around the edge of the box, and then it's pinged off of the back of the net, rolled across to the back corner. That is a lovely one to watch go in.
Like that, as long as somebody else puts it in this game, we're all right. There's now Southport look to come forward. Rutherford still charging, comes to Gary Jones. Jones goes for goal, straight in the hands of Steve Drench. That will have pleased, though, the visiting Bradford City fans here to show their appreciation. Free kick, right-footed it is. Gary Jones delivers it towards the back post. It's a hard one. Thompson gets his hand, I think, and it goes over the top for a goal kick.
Touch doesn't go away, does it, towards the end of your career? Well, some of the energy and stamina might.
Here's Hatfield. Hatfield's brought down. He's been brought down by Ben Davis. Play continues. Cross comes in. Maris is in there. Cleared away-ish by Southport. In fact, they've got themselves a throw-in. But people are wondering, and can't blame them, where the advantage is, because Will Hatfield was side down, and bearing in mind the bookings that we've seen given to Dickinson and Lockwood, and getting behind the two teams. The Southport now look to come forward. Rutherford goes for goal. Steve Drench does well, gets down to it, parries it away from goal. Brooksby stood over it, pulls it back to the edge of the box, finds Boschel, and Boschel has got a 6-point conversion.
I was going to make a Rugby World Cup joke there as well. That's good. We're really on the same page tonight.
Tweet us at Guiseley Radio. Let us know your thoughts on the views and on the commentary as well, as the referee blows the half-time whistle and the Lions have themselves a 1-goal lead. Liam Dickinson's free kick 17 minutes in is all that separates the two sides on the score sheet. It's been a relatively competitive game, fairly even between these two sides, both who took points at the weekend. But half-time here at Nethermore is Guiseley 1, Southport 0. You're listening to Guiseley AFC radio commentary team of myself, Chris Bell, and alongside me, Nick Keefe, as the ball is flicked on by a Southport head in towards Louis Almond. Almond goes for goal. Almond strikes the base of the post, and we were just talking about Guiseley not switching on at the start of a half. That was an excellent effort from Louis Almond, but far too close for comfort. Hits the base of the post. There's quality about him, to be fair. He's not had a bad debut for me.
No, and there's a good left-footed shot in there as well from Will Hatfield.
But that's poor clearance, and now Louis Almond goes for goal, and that is an excellent finish from the Southport man. Guiseley have been punished from their poor defending. It was given away far too cheaply to a man of Louis Almond's calibre. That is absolute for boys. Comes across towards Wayne Brooks, but you think the referee puts the whistle to his lips and blows the full-time whistle. And the final score here is Guiseley 1, Southport 1. The Lions took the lead on the 17th minute with an excellent Liam Dickinson free kick. And after conceding very few chances to Southport, Louis Almond scored the equalising goal late on after some woeful defending and possession given away far too cheaply by Danny Boschel. So it's been a disappointing evening here at Nethermore with a full-time score of Guiseley 1, Southport 1. So we'll quickly run through the two team lineups for you now, starting with Guiseley, Steve Drench, Ryan Toulson, Danny Lowe, Adam Lockwood, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Will Hatfield, George Marius, Liam Dickinson and Rob Atkinson. On the bench, Adam Boyes, Tom Craddock, Dan Atkinson, Nicky Boschel and Zach Thompson. And for Southport, John Viscosi, Matty Challoner, Liam Nolan, Josh Thompson, Andy Wright, Cole Stockton, Gary Jones, Paul Rutherford, Louis Almond, Andre Jones and Ben Davis. And on the bench for the Sandgrounders, Courtney Cameron, Charlie Joyce, Jamie Allen, Will Beasley and Andy Coughlin.
Yeah, so I understand the lad who's just come in from Barnsley is basically the direct competition to Wayne
Now the ball
Brooksby.
with Hatfield on the right hand side, brings it towards the Southport 18-yard box. Now the ball into the penalty area to find Wayne Brooksby. He's got two defenders ahead of him. Goes to get the cross in the end goes out off a Southport man for a Guiseley corner.
I hope you've all done your paperwork. We don't want we can't have a repeat incident.
Liam Dickinson does well, wins a free kick. Couple of yards outside the Southport 18-yard box.
With that being said, I think Dickinson's taking the free kick,
Yeah.
isn't he, actually?
I was just thinking myself, he's not there. Oh, wait, he's going to try and take this. It's either Dickinson or Brooksby. It is Dickinson. That is absolutely fantastic. Liam Dickinson, right-footed, around the wall, beyond the goalkeeper. 1-0 to the Lions.
Well, he calls it the side foot of doom, and that was a great free kick. I don't know how he's beaten the keeper. He's curled that around the edge of the box, and then it's pinged off of the back of the net, rolled across to the back corner. That is a lovely one to watch go in.
Like that, as long as somebody else puts it in this game, we're all right. There's now Southport look to come forward. Rutherford still charging, comes to Gary Jones. Jones goes for goal, straight in the hands of Steve Drench. That will have pleased, though, the visiting Bradford City fans here to show their appreciation. Free kick, right-footed it is. Gary Jones delivers it towards the back post. It's a hard one. Thompson gets his head on it, I think, and it goes over the top for a goal kick.
So, welcome back here to Nethermore Park for this afternoon's game between the Lions and Southport in this Vanarama National League North game, in which it's half-time 1-1, even honours even in what's been a really entertaining and very close affair between two sides that are really having a go at each other, really going for the 3 points and trying to get a goal on every opportunity they can. It's made for a good spectacle in the first 45 minutes. And the Lions are just about to come back out. You can probably see that the Southport players have made their way back onto the field. Reflecting on that first half, I was actually asking Eddie a rather long and complicated question just before we were due to come back on air. But the way that the Lions have played, it's been a bit more direct than in recent weeks, it feels to me, with less build-up play from the back and trying to work it out from the back. And I just wondered what the reflection was from you in terms of the plan where we've been playing out from the back recently, and what might have changed today.
Well, I think you're right. We have been playing out from the back all the time, and today a bit less so. But I think it's also a matter. We were talking about it beforehand. It's a matter of occasions. Maybe playing out from the back every time just becomes so predictable. And it's interesting that if you think about what we've got at the back, with the likes of George Cantrell, we've got ball players at the back whose natural inclination is to receive the ball and then go play. So, but it is interesting today that we have mixed it up more. But certainly the playing surface today is perhaps more suited to a little bit more going long than we have done in recent weeks.
As you can probably hear, the Lions are coming back out. You can probably see as well because Josh is back to complete his camera work now and direct the camera towards the pitch. But it's been a good first 45, hasn't it? And do you think Marcus and Russ O'Neill will be both happy with what they've seen in that first half, or will they be expecting a bit more?
I think you've got to be happy with the attacking play, except maybe for some of the finishing. I mean, Jonathan Wafula was desperate, lucky with that second header, which just flashed inches wide. But I think the only point that would be perhaps an issue, we said defensive players win more of your personal duels, but also we've got to be that little bit more attentive when in possession. We've given the ball away 4 or 5 times, And 2 or 3 of those 4 or 5 have led to situations that could have led to goals. So we've got to be more attentive in possession.
Well, we've got back underway. The kickoff going up and out of play immediately to allow the Lions to take a throw. And Becker sends it down that right channel, but is returned as Southport defends stoutly. Lions win it back, halfway line, up towards Kane Felix. Good firm clearance from Anson to clean that one up from a Southport perspective before the ball bounces back into the arms of Hanford. Southport keeper sends it up, it lands and bounces on the halfway line. Ben Sharif tidies that one up, it goes back into the Southport half. Sent long, and again, Ben Sharif just mistimes a header on that occasion. Almost allows Carver in. Guiseley managed to clear, not completely. Kane Felix involved in trying to win the ball off Jack Bainbridge. Bainbridge puts the ball out of play and Guiseley have the possession. Jonathan Rafula is pulled down by Charles Oliver, right in front of us. Free kick is given to Guiseley, about level with the centre circle, left-hand side. Lions will have a chance for a set play here and get some bodies forward.
John in the Mixler chat room, Margaret Cooper, well done. Guiseley much better. Tugger says decent half for Guiseley, need to tighten up the defence for the second half. RC Lion says we look much sharper back to front today.
It's great to have you with us. Guiseley have a free kick, which Cantrell will take. He floats this up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, just over the head of Wafula. Becker chases, trying to keep it in play. Unfortunately, can't complete that, and the ball is out and behind for a goal kick.
That was one of those irritating neither one thing nor the other free kicks, really. George will be disappointed with that. I think what we have to avoid as well, Colin, is, the last couple of home games, we've had a poor spell straight after half-time. And, we've got to be at it from minute 1 of this second half. And certainly the signs are we are.
1-1, second half just underway, 3 minutes in. Free goal kick here for Hanford to send long for the visitors. The ball into the Lions half. Butterfield wins this one back, the new loanee. He plays it across the face of the halfway line, and Lefudu does well to keep it in play. He's closed down. Guys, he somehow are closed down themselves, and the ball is won back by Southport, and they move it down this left-hand side. Carver into the box. A good challenge comes in there from Mbeka, but the ball will be out for another throw-in. And a throw-in from that angle is always dangerous because, of course, there's such threat from these long balls into the box.
Yeah, and it's such a good point that AD makes. The number of games we've watched already this season where we're barely underway, we barely read the teams out, and there's been a penalty or a goal or something else really disappointing straight after the break.
And it was the same there. We've given the ball away in a situation where we've got caught trying to overplay.
Long throw into the box from Doyle is headed away at the near post. It's picked up again. Carver out to that left-hand side. Doyle with a cross, blocked. This time, Guiseley can clear, and they get it away up towards the halfway line. There's Felix on his own if he can be found with the ball. It's actually a cross-field pass in the direction of Nathan Newell, who's charging forward. Just falls short of him. Guiseley have to watch out with possession in the middle of the park here. They've been closed down by Connor Woods, but the Lions do get it away. Parsons takes a little outside dink forward of the ball towards Lefudu. It takes a deflection. It's gone out for a Guiseley throw midway through the Southport half. No long ball this time. Lefudu sends it into Parsons and then back here to Mbeka. Now down that right-hand side, Lefudu with a good run. Gets in towards the edge of the area. Lays it square here to Wafula, but Wafula can't win the ball. Does make a challenge that forces it out here to Newell. Newell finds Felix on the angle. Felix across the face, a goal. A good shot and a goal! Lions have got the second. It's been stabbed home. And a great ball across there from Kane Felix. Found Parsons inside the penalty area, unmarked. And he's applied the finish. It's Guiseley 2, Southport 1.
Crucial goal and a crucial part of the game. We've been talking about the need to make a quick start after half-time, and we certainly did throughout that move. It started down on the right. Brilliant movement from Lefudu. Broke down, but we had another chance down the left, and when the cross came in from Kane Felix, not Butterfield, sorry. One of our other new players, Josh Parsons, was there at exactly the right moment. Buried it into the goalkeeper's right-hand corner. No opportunity for Hanford to get anywhere near it. And we're ahead in a game. We're ahead in a game, Colin. AD, you can come every week.
There's a joke in there somewhere, but it's fascinating as well to see Kane Felix almost in this sort of hurricane provider role. What a tremendous assist that was.
A super ball across from Felix across the penalty area. It gives Parsons a chance, but the Lions have to set firm because Southport want to make an immediate response. They have a throw on that left-hand side, long into the box, headed away. Still there's a claim for a foul from the visitors, but the referee unmoved. Now Felix trying to get past his man. He's unceremoniously chucked to the floor by Matthew Challoner to prevent Kane Felix getting away from him and having a run down that side of the field, and the second yellow card will follow.
Wasn't that a super assured finish as well?
It was.
So many times we've seen a player take an extra touch in the box or not back themselves or even look for a pass. You know, there's no secret that we've not looked confident up front.
But I mean, that was coaching manual, body shape, everything about it was just tremendous to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, and really, really good way to make your home debut, isn't it? Score a vital goal at a vital time in the game.
And now a big 15 minutes. Keep the lead, keep our heads. Let's actually, see a game out rather than have the sort of problems we've had in the last few weeks.
Now we've got a free kick on the halfway line that the Lions will take, and we're trying to press the play high up. Southport trying to keep a highish line. This one floats in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Up goes Wafula, doesn't win that one, but Mbeka does. His header across the edge of the area doesn't find a Lion, and in the end Andre Jones is penalised in his aerial challenge with David Morgan, and I think Andre Jones is going to be spoken to. He's apologising to Morgan, but I don't think this will be a card. It's just going to be a talking to at this moment in time. And a free kick for Southport.
Well, nothing in Andre Jones's body shape suggested he was intending to give away a foul there, so I think something been an awkward contact with an elbow or something like that, but it wasn't high. We'll get back underway here with Southport restarting halfway into their own half, but they're looking for a long goal kick here.
Just want to shout out to a few more and very grateful to the Southport fans who are donating on our stream and their kind comments. Maybe you can do so on our crowdfunder that you can link through from the YouTube stream on here. But just at the moment, there's too much action on the field to divert that until the commentator's curse strikes and the ball is cleared out into the cricket field beyond. So an opportunity to say to Jason and Carolyn from Southport, all the best. Thank you, Paul Newen, Paul Cuthbert, Tony Beard, Martin Crimp, Christopher Neary, George Durno, and Tawana Butterfield. You might recognise that name, a new fan for Guiseley from Bermuda. Happens to be related to one of our new players, Sandgrounder in Qatar, and Derek Hitchcock. Thank you so much for all your kind words and your donations to our live stream this afternoon. Southport now have a long throw into the box as they look to press to get back onto level terms. Guiseley lead at the moment, 2-1. But this has been a game that swung one way and now the other, and has been a very good watch so far. And you would not put it past Southport to get back into this match as they have the ball back with the goalkeeper, Daniel Hanford.
One word of caution, Colin, from me. I think that Southport are still picking up all the bits and pieces. Whenever they have a long throw or a free kick or a situation, 30 yards from goal, they're picking up every piece of bits and pieces.
Alafuda not making a clean clearance. He's lost possession. Guiseley managed to clear. It's off the field at the moment. Then Guiseley win a free kick. And Cantrell picks himself up.
I wonder if one part of that is that we've been playing until really today with two very deep midfielders and then one slightly further forward, be it Andy Kellett briefly or whoever. And both of the debutants, Butterfield and Parsons, are a long way ahead of Andre Jones, who's getting through a lot of work, but it's not like he's got Prince Ekpolo in there with him, I guess previously Mark Howarth or someone else. There aren't two deep players there, so there are more spaces in front of our back three than we've been used to seeing.
Oh, now guys, you have the ball down this right-hand side. This is a chance here. Parsons on the ball, plays it into the box, just ahead of Kane Felix. Butterfield, edge of the area, fires a shot in towards goal. Super save from the goalkeeper. What a strike that was from Milan Butterfield. And a good reaction there from Daniel Hanford to push the ball over for a corner. Still Guiseley 2, Southport 1.
Well, talking of shapes from the coaching manual, he was careful with his technique there, wasn't he? Really, really good shape. Watched it down, and there was real power behind the shot.
Corner now from this left-hand side. This is going to be delivered by Parsons. Guiseley have players on the edge of the area and one in the 6-yard box. It's floated in towards the penalty spot area. Good leap up in the air there by Butterfield. He gets it away, though the Southport players defend. And then the second shot comes in, just fires that one past the upright and behind. And Becker that time, I think, was firing that one towards the goal, and he's just sent it past the upright and behind for a goal kick.
I think it's caught me by surprise how desperate I am to see a win, Colin. I forgot. Was it the Blythe game? Is that the last one I saw with you here? I was so excited. We're actually winning, and we're looking good going forward. The question is whether we can make sure we don't concede.
Jones now out to the right-hand side. Parsons again plays it forward. Felix has an awful lot of work if he's going to get anywhere near this ball, but you know Felix, he doesn't give it up, charges down, forces the defender to put the ball out and out for a throw-in for Guiseley.
As you both say as well, I mean, the worry here, we are winning the game and probably deserve to be in front, actually, but the big worry for me is the breakdowns. Every breakdown, I'm concerned, because we got footballers, lads who want to play, we sometimes play in situations where, actually just summed up by Southport there, where a defender simply puts the ball out.
It's a long throw, though, for the Lions. Becker, left arm up on that right-hand side. He's going to launch this one. He's about level with the edge of the 18-yard box, and so could get the reach of this near post at the edge of the 6-yard box. It goes up and in the air. It's up towards Butterfield. He gets his head on it, but he's crowded out, and it's stabbed away by the defence once again for another throw for the Lions. This time much higher up the field, inside the Southport half, but about level with the centre circle this time. Still 2-1 to Guiseley.
Yeah, and keeping the pressure on this time with another long throw.
This one goes down that right-hand side. A bit of a scramble in there, and the referee opts to give the free kick to Southport. 6 and 2 threes, I think. But probably needed to be stopped because there was a little bit of shirt tugging and pulling.
He who shouts loudest, Colin.
Well, you'll have to shout if you don't put your microphone next to
He
your mouth,
who
AD.
shouts loudest, Colin, sorry.
and it is normally you, isn't it, AD?
Yeah, I was going to say. Now the ball with Challoner, but guys, they've won it back. Butterfield stepping forward but closed down. Andre Jones dispossessed as he tried to recover possession. Southport move it down to the right-hand side. It's here, Woods trying to get through two defenders to get towards the edge of the area. He does well, trying to make an angle for a cross. He crosses up towards the back post. Brad Wade watches that one, claims it just before two players were charging in to apply the finish. Cool goalkeeping there from Brad Wade. And no time to reflect on it because the Lions are going up the other end now. And the ball stabbed forward. Wafula is in a good position on the right-hand side. He's got Kane Felix in the middle. He plays a good ball in, but the defender does well just to watch out and calmly clear. Guys, you have it. Edge of the area again. A shot comes in from Parsons. This time he's fired it into the defender and just tripped a man at the same time. And it will be a free kick to Southport. And looks to be some action on the bench over there, Nick.
Yeah, it looks like Gabriel Johnson's getting ready to come on. Maybe a second as well.
Immediately playing the ball, though, not allowing the substitution to happen because Southport see an opportunity to come down the other side. There's a player who goes down under a challenge, but the referee's unmoved, and the ball rolls back to Brad Wade.
It'd be interesting to see who makes way here. I mean, we've seen willing runners, we've seen huge amounts of energy, huge amounts more energy from the forward players today than we've seen in other games in recent weeks, and from both the wide players, Newell and Lafudu. So I guess Gabriel Johnson's going to come on to give someone a break because there's not been an obvious injury to anybody.
You got any view on this, AD? Substitute? You got any view on the substitute?
Well, I think you could probably argue that any of the forward runners must now be getting tired. If I'm honest, probably Josh, but.
And there's no let up, is there?
No,
you know, after this, we've got another one.
He's done super, but it's a big ask for somebody on their second appearance.
Yeah.
Well, it's a shame there's not a crowd in here, because I think Josh Parsons would be getting a very warm round of applause.
Absolutely.
He's been impressive this afternoon, and he scored a goal as well to give the Lions a 2-1 advantage. Gabriel Johnson coming on now in his place.
You can keep it under your hat, AD, whether you saw the board or whether you were just psychically brilliant in picking who was coming off there.
With the way my eyes are, I can't see you, Nick. So.
There's some advantages, AD, then. Now, guys, you have a throw. Left-hand side, as we restart, there's 2 Southport players ready to come on as well, but they're not taking that opportunity just at the moment as the Lions are attacking. Lafudu takes down the halfway line as the ball is worked down that right flank now by Lafudu, making use of his pace towards the edge of the area. Gets a shot across the face of the defender, who sticks a leg out and forces it behind. It'll be a Guiseley corner. Yeah,
Gabriel Johnson going over there to take it. His first involvement in the game. It was a really good performance by Josh Parsons. He looks like a talented player, and now Gabriel has an opportunity to show why he thinks he should be in the starting 11.
Well, that's a good problem to have for the Lions. Johnson with this corner. There are 5 running in now in towards the penalty spot, and it goes in towards Butterfield, who tries to strike it, gets his foot underneath it, and unfortunately it's gone behind for a goal kick. So still 2-1 to the Lions.
Well, for another player that might have been a header, but because Butterfield is a giant, he was trying to kick that away at just above hip height. Very, very difficult to lift your leg up and around it and direct the ball. He had a good try.
Butterfield wins the header there. He's played well today. It's been a good performance from the Lions. If though, as AD says, there's always opportunities. Opportunities at this end, though, as Felix chases that one down. The ball just collects a bit of pace as it bounces away from Felix, but he was showing that sharpness, Felix, there, that perhaps he's not shown recently, as he's been coming back from an injury. Lions win the ball back, though. Lafudu working well. Johnson trying to get it past his man. Still working through here. Felix wins the ball, but it's gone through towards Challoner, who can collect. Guiseley win it back, though. Felix bundled over. And not surprisingly, a free kick given, because Felix just had the legs of Benjamin. Russell Benjamin came in and clattered him. And I think that might be another yellow card here. Felix might need a little bit of attention, or he might just stay down to the ground. A little bit of pushing and shoving with Benjamin getting involved with Hamza Ben Sharif. The physios are on, and everyone's just getting a little bit heated here.
Quite fascinating there, Colin, if you watch the reaction, and again, part of the modern game and nothing wrong with it. Morgan, as Southport captain there, has actually accused Kane Felix of committing the foul just to try to take the edge out of it. Don't blame him again for doing it. But then you have a situation where there's been 3 or 4 heads have come together, the Southport number 4, Hamza, others. And so it's a really interesting attempt at creating a flashpoint where there isn't one, really.
Yeah, it sort of came out of nowhere, that whole situation where the challenge itself was, not a pretty one. Kane Felix was well up in the air at the time, and he's turned 180 degrees in the air, and we're just hoping that he's okay. The potential to land awkwardly is pretty big there, and he's still lying down. For those of you listening on Mixlr, rather watching on YouTube, he's still lying down on the ground, getting some attention, and thankfully temperatures have been lowered around the rest of the pitch, because all of that squabbling seemed to just creep up out of nowhere, really, there after the foul.
Well, I haven't seen a card come up. I just glanced down. I don't think... Have you, either of you seen a card or anything issued?
No.
No yellow card. I thought we might see one. I think the referee's just decided that's a foul in the book, but in the reckoning, maybe another one would result in a yellow card for Benjamin. The conversation is mostly with Hamza Ben Sharif.
I have to say that in terms of modern day yellow cards, that's as yellow card as
normally you'd expect that, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's the foul that you would expect a team to commit. No problem with it, because Kane's on a run, and hey.
I'll tell you what it's like. It's a little bit like the Harry Kane one that everyone's talking about at the moment, that he does once or twice a game and leaves a player up in the air and wondering how they're going to land.
And Felix's pace has probably foxed him as well, to be fair. He's just knocked the ball past him. And there's an element of just being flat-footed on that occasion. Look, a couple of comments on the crowdfunder. I just want a big shout out. Colin Bibby, David Chinnery, David Costello, Neil Gibbs, Anonymous. Thank you so much for your support today. You can take our gratitude with you, because we're really grateful for your commitment to helping us keep this stream live, and thank you so much for your donation this afternoon to help us raise the funds that we need to simply cover the cost of producing this. It's not something that's going to generate any profits. I don't think when this pandemic's over we're going to be competing with Sky or anything after this. Let's put it that way. But you've played your part, and I'm really grateful to helping us do this. Guys, you get the game back underway, and it's a free kick, and eventually Kane Felix comes back on as the free kick is repelled and sent back into the Lions half, and Nathan Newell returns it to Brad Wade, who then gets a good foot underneath that ball, up in towards John Wafula. Good headed clearance comes in from Bainbridge, and it will be a Guiseley throw. And we will have that substitute. So this will be a one to watch out for, isn't it? 2 substitutes here for Southport. And going to be squinting across there. It looks like George Newell is coming off. And is that Jordan Archer, the front man, coming on in his place? So that's another threat, isn't it, to this game that Southport can offer. Yeah, and
that's the player that they've been leaving forward from every set piece. That's been the outlet that they've had planned, and you know, so just as you're used to one type of player, you know, another one comes on, and he's not small, is he?
No, 6'3". He is, and it looks like
Archer's a completely different proposition as well. They've also interested taking off a defender as well.
Well, Charles Oliver, who was on the yellow card, he's coming off. And I'm still waiting for the number to come up, but I would imagine this be Muhammad Ali, or would it be, because he was the only defender on the list that I had who's come on. We'll just wait and see. Oh, it's Cameron Antwi, sorry. So Cameron Antwi is the substitute coming on for Charles Oliver.
So both teams making their changes, then the question is, does the pace and the tempo, the rhythm of the game carry on, or do we enter into a sort of a final phase where we're...
Now the ball over the top here, and Brad Wade has come out to sweep, because that was a good delivery that had Connor Woods chasing after it. Guiseley win it back here. Good play from Butterfield to win possession. Wafula chasing down that right-hand side, dispossesses a defender, goes into the penalty area, left-hand side, lays it back towards the edge of the area. Andre Jones will take it from distance, and I must admit I wasn't confident the way he was lining up to his body shape to hit that one. It's gone so far over. It's even avoided the net behind the terracing, which is designed to keep stray shots inside the ground. It's a good stray one that someone's going to have to reclaim. But still Guiseley lead 2-1 here.
You've fetched many a stray ball from the sidings behind there over the years, haven't you, AD?
Yeah, but that was interfering with the 16-25 to Ilkley, wasn't it? So it's interesting, as you say, the substitutions actually, I think as much as anything else, are a comment on the sheer pace of the game. It's been a great advert for the league, this game, by the way. Both sides playing some good stuff.
Newell clearing the ball upfield. Very firm clearance into the Southport half. Bainbridge back to the goalkeeper, who in turn clears well. Up towards the edge of the centre circle. Jones nods the ball down. He's lost possession. And it's Antwi who's the substitute making the impact there. Southport move it down the left-hand side. There's a chance for them to build up something here as the cross comes in from that flank. It finds Woods in the box. He gets a shot away straight at Brad Wade. And the Lions keeper holds on to that one. But it just looked like, as though those warnings you were talking about, AD, we were unpicked from one ball, one misplaced piece of possession inside the midfield very quickly there.
Andre Jones, if anything's been too honest there. He's tried to reclaim a ball that he can't reclaim. It was almost better left and he stays on his feet, but he's tried to do a job for the team, and the net result is the breakdown becomes dangerous. But we've got away with it, but we've got to eliminate it from the game.
So still 2-1 to Guiseley, with the throw on that right-hand side that allows the Lions to work up down that flank and earn a throw-in. But quick run down the score. Still 1-0 to Alfreton against Chorley. Boston Chester 0-0. Brackley 2, Blythe 1. Park Avenue 1, Leamington 2. Curzon 0, Gloucester 1. Gateshead 0, Kidderminster 0. Hereford 2, Fylde 1. Kettering 0-0 with Telford. York 1-0 against Spennymoor. Guiseley, long throw, right-hand side. Back to the hoardings. Brunham Becker. Try and send this into that edge of that 6-yard box. The near post. Hamza Ben Sharif is in there. So's Butterfield. This one over everyone. Takes a deflection, I think, off a Southport defender. It is indeed a corner to Guiseley. Feels like the long throws have been effective this afternoon.
Certainly more so than other games we've seen recently. And to generate another corner out of that, both teams knew they wanted something. I think every Southport player thought there was a handball, and every Guiseley one thought it was a corner. And Gabriel Johnson it is to take it again. A couple of runners on the edge of the area, including Butterfield and Hamza Ben Sharif.
Curling this one in from the left-hand side in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Hamza Ben Sharif timed his run well, and as he tried to nod the ball back towards the goal, he just couldn't find the pace or the direction on it, and unfortunately it's behind for a goal kick. But a good delivery there from Gabriel Johnson, a nice idea too from Hamza Ben Sharif in the build-up too.
Yeah, and so important that we carry on getting opportunities in the final part of this game. So important that we don't enter, just as I was sort of starting to say before, a final phase, which is us trying to soak up pressure and them just purely on the attack.
The counter-attack's still dangerous though. It's a really good ball there from Morgan. Southport, edge of the area here. Woods gets it out to the left-hand side. Carver tries to get the shot away. This time he's played it across into the hands of Brad Wade. The assistant on this near side indicates that before Brad Wade got it, it had gone out of play and was a corner. Guys, needless to say, are not happy with that decision. Brad Wade disagrees with it. The assistant on that near side, though, had his flag up straight away. And it will be a corner kick, which Southport will take from the left-hand side. They are getting players into the box now as this one is delivered in. The referee pauses things and is not happy with some of the pushing and shoving again, and we'll have another pause. It's difficult, isn't it? A contested corner like that, you just wonder what it does into the player's psyche.
Well, the guys who defenders need to keep concentrating. They don't want to get sucked into conversations about who's done what with the referee. They just need to keep concentrating.
So Jordan Archer is in there. This one floated in. He's having a real tussle with Becker. Archer, that'll be an interesting one. Guys who tried to get the counter-attack away. The ball swiftly slid out of play for a throw on the halfway line, and the Lions want to get it done quickly, but Matthew Challoner, reading the game professionally, shall we say, make sure he stood there to prevent the quick throw and prevent the quick counter-attack from getting any steam.
There is the beginnings of an edge developing to this game, isn't there? There's been, just a few examples of little bits of coming together, and the referee's going to have to keep an eye, I think.
17 minutes to go, and Kane Felix is working down that right-hand side and earned Guisey a free kick. He'd actually got up and taken the ball away, might have had the advantage. But to be fair, that looked fairly unlikely. And now Guisey have a free kick just up from the corner flag. A good set play opportunity again for the Lions.
And both of those phases of play came through massively improved intensity. When we're trying to push out on the break. The first one over there was I'm pointing, sorry. The first one in front of the dugouts was Kane Felix and Gabriel Johnson, then Felix again this time. So much more urgency in trying to chase forward, and that's helping to relieve the pressure. It's helping to force Southport to keep defenders back, and at the end of it, we've got a dangerous set piece.
It's practically a corner.
And that just is a crowd scene now, isn't it?
And AD, you just need to put your microphone to your mouth.
Sorry, that just is a crowd scene, isn't it now?
It is. It really is. They're lining up around the penalty on the inside the goal, inside the 6-yard box. This one's going to curl in. Gabriel Johnson has it. The referee's watching very closely everything that's going on. The ball goes to the edge of the 18-yard box. This one will be curled or dropped in towards a penalty spot. A bit too tame. It's a poor set play in the end. Nathan Newell does well to ride a challenge or two. Keeps the ball ticking over and then sends it out to Gabriel Johnson on the right-hand side. Does well to keep it in play. Gabriel Johnson gets it onto his left foot but can't get the cross away. The challenge continues from Johnson and he manages to block the clearance. The ball goes back to the goalkeeper and still the Lions lead 2-1 with 15 minutes to go.
And even in the just sort of disappointingness of what happened there, Johnson wants to come back inside onto his left foot. It's super obvious for the defender, so they just go with him and block it off. He's still done well, actually, to then carry on, try and get a foot in and stop them coming forward, give him a goal kick instead.
Well, down the left-hand side, Wafula will chase this one, but Bainbridge is easily going to tidy that one up. He sends it back to the goalkeeper, who in turn plays it long and up into the Lions' half. George Cantrell with the head. Then there's a contested throw-in that is given Guiseley's way, which is returned to Guiseley as the Lions take the time. George Cantrell steps across to take this throw.
Not had much opportunity to read out your messages from the Mixlr chat room, but obviously Andy Parsons, local hero Andy Parsons, very glad to see one of his namesake in the ground, even if he's not allowed in. I think everyone's impressed with the two new signings starting today. Very glad to see Kane Felix getting back to full fitness after injury as well. That's been the general theme on the chat room so far. If there are any more breaks in play, I'll read a few of the actual messages out.
So, a throw-in, and this is also a moment in which there's been a bit of heat, a bit of intensity, a throw-in just in front of the Lions dugout that Guiseley felt was a Guiseley throw-in, but actually was a Southport's in the referees and the assistants' opinion. We eventually get back underway, and the ball played into the Lions' half is cleared. Guiseley trying to press and win the ball high, but Southport hold firm and earn themselves a throw. And, there's a player who's just gone down. Is that John Wafula who's just gone to ground? I tell you what.
Put a heck of a shift in this, Johnny, but he's just looking a little bit leggy now, I think, as well. You're talking about intensity there. There's been 4 or 5 situations in the last few minutes where we haven't given up on lost causes. And it doesn't matter how good a footballer you are, if you've constantly got somebody in your face, it makes your job so much harder. So Southport have got some really good technicians, but the touch is being put under pressure all the time.
It's a regular sight, though, unfortunately, seeing Ash Proctor on the field looking at a player for what looks like some form of, maybe just a bit of a twinge on this occasion, a muscular problem on this occasion. But it's been so hard to keep players fit.
Well, with a small squad and the number of games, the number of midweek games in a row that we've had, there are no opportunities. There's no sort of gentle Tuesdays to just sort of test a thing out and work your fitness back. You're either in or you're out because there's a game coming again in a few days' time. And this week is no different. Not an easy game coming on Tuesday. And you think if we were winning this by 2 or 3 goals, in Cloud Cuckoo land, you would be thinking about resting 1 or 2 players for the last 10 minutes to avoid picking up any more injuries, because we're going to have to play this well again on Tuesday against Chorley if we're going to get a result there.
It's just an unreasonable ask on part-time footballers. This is I think next week's our 6th successive midweek. It's just not reasonable.
No. A little time to train as well, I suppose, and get working on other things outside of a game situation.
No, and I think that's the other situation where we're going to have to consider actually putting more sessions on and hoping that, more players can get to, some players at least can get to them, but it's very difficult when you can only train once a week.
Oh, we flick on there from Wafula. Chase on here from Felix. The ball cleared. Going to be another Guiseley throw, keeping the pressure on high up the field.
What's that like behind the scenes then, AD? So if you can only see the players once a week, does that mean a lot of the tactics is done by WhatsApp or something, and then you just do a few key drills when you do see them?
Yeah, because of WhatsApp groups and the amount of technology we've got, it is possible to do all that scenarios and show the players them. But certainly there is going to be the option of additional sessions for people if they can make it, because a lot of the players are in favour of those additional sessions.
Now a long ball into the box, and it's a contested one with the goalkeeper. He claims it.
And now we've got a training... Sorry, Colin.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
Now we've got a training venue that's more amenable to more use. We're considering doing that.
Well, it's something Marcus has talked about, hasn't it?
No, good ball over here to Felix, who will determine to interrupt you with good opportunities for the Lions, and Felix will take this one, and flies the finish. The Lions have that third. You can feel the relief around the ground. And Kane Felix slots it underneath the goalkeeper The ball over the top. Felix's trademark takes it down, cuts in field, applies the finish. The Lions have a valuable third. Guiseley 3, Southport 1.
What a relief. What a relief. When was the last time we were winning a game by 2 goals? And we've seen 3 scored by Guiseley so far this evening, having come from behind. You know, let's not forget that. And this time, Kane Felix inside the area, away to the left, had to get his shape right, and he tucked it underneath the goalkeeper really confidently.
Well, that is fantastic. Sorry.
It's only the 4th time this year, Nick.
This calendar year?
No, this season.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this? This will be me only knowing about games that I see, which are the home ones this year. But oh dear, it's such a relief. You know, since we went that one ahead, finding myself sort of getting more tense and more excited, because it's a while since I've personally been able to cover a game here that I thought we were really in a shout of winning. You know, and we are winning. And so correctly, Jonathan Wafula's coming off, and we're starting to think about consolidating this game here, Colin.
So Wafula off from Nicholson on is the next substitute for Guiseley. Wafula looking a little leggy, like you observed a little while ago. And Kane Felix not feeling leggy at all. Look at him, sprightly, sprinting to try and close that down as the ball bounces back to the goalkeeper, who sends it long into the Lions half. Guiseley now having to defend and dig deep, because Southport, they've got quality. They can come at the Lions, and a good cross-come shot from that right-hand side from Marcus Carver takes a deflection, and there will be a corner now for the visitors as they look to make an immediate response to going 3-1 down.
What was the timing on the goal, Colin?
80, I made it.
Oh, so plenty of time then. Sorry for the relief, everyone. Get ready for the crushing disappointment, starting with this corner.
Corner comes in. It's a bit short, but it's not cleared by Guiseley, and eventually stabbed away. Kane Felix ploughs a lone furrow, trying to win possession for Guiseley, but in the end can't do anything other than watch Bainbridge step across and put the ball out of play. Sorry, Challoner step across and watch the ball go out of play for a Southport throw. It's moved swiftly out to the left-hand side and played into the area where Carver will chase. Cleared by the Lions, but Becker rather, trying to close down. Guiseley win possession back again, and there's a free kick that is given for a foul on Andre Jones.
All right, I will read a few out from the chat room. Margaret Cooper's obviously, yes, then Lion Cub, get in Kane, you star. Hank Scorpio, lovely finish from Felix. He's also looked much sharper today after his injury. Guiseley Loyal, fantastic Kane, been terrific today. RC Lion, well, that's Dave's already read that message out exactly as it was written. You probably heard it from the tannoy. Tugger, Kane magic again. There's a Partridge reference on there from Kenster for you, Colin. Alan Thompson says superb. I'm not reading it out. Netherfield Lions says deserve that now. Got to manage the game and get 3 points in the bank. And I think we're all of us sat here in agreement with that. Sorry to all of you Southport fans watching. We haven't won a game for ages here at home. So we're really hoping. Sorry, we're a bit biased.
Becker on the ball, plays it into Gabriel Johnson. Good 1-2. The ball played back into midfield is actually won back by Johnson. It really shouldn't have been. Guiseley keep the ball ticking over. Butterfield, edge of the area, decides to take the shot. And you can hear the frustration because he's just caught that one far too high and soft and behind for a goal kick. I just want to be thankful for everybody who's donated via our crowdfunder this afternoon, and a big thank you to you Southport fans talking of Southport. You've been very generous. We're really grateful for your support. We rely on you to your generosity of visiting fans and the home fans to keep the streams free and available to all. So a big shout out to people like Philip Crow, Philip Savage, David Cope, fellow Yellows, as well, who've all pledged money this afternoon, and other anonymous supporters. If you've not put your name to it, we're equally grateful to absolutely everyone who's donated. So thank you very much for that. It's just to keep this service going, so to make it wash its face, so we don't lose money or too much money on doing what we need to do to keep you in touch with the football. Now there's a throw-in on the right-hand side for the Lions. which is well defended and stabbed away. And Brad Nicholson plays the ball back to Brad Wade. And Wade, in turn, tries to find Nathan Newell, but can't do that, and it's headed away. And picked up now by Challoner. Challoner sends it down the right-hand side. It's played into the area. Stopped in its track by Hamza Ben Sharif. Then Nathan Newell on the edge of his area, can't clear. Southport still press. Good challenge comes in there from George Cantrell. He almost is dispossessed, but rides the challenge really well. Then plays the ball over the top. Chase on here for Mbeka as he goes down that right-hand side. The ball back to the goalkeeper. Mbeka continues his run, but doesn't get on the end of it. Guys who win possession back. Johnson, who threads it through to Mbeka. He's shouted for offside, but there's no flag. Guys who get it onto the right-hand side. The corner is blocked. The cross from the corner flag is blocked. It goes out for a corner, and that's good pressure from the Lions. And Mbeka looks like he's going to need a little bit of treatment for the next minute or so. 4 minutes left. Still Guiseley lead, 3-1.
Well, that was a funny old situation at the end of that move, wasn't it? Everybody was waiting to see if the linesman's flag would go up, including John Lafudu. And he stopped with the ball, looked over his shoulder and decided he'd carry on. And that leads us to where we are now. Mbeka, I don't think will need treatment on the field, but he's back on his feet.
The last 5 minutes have been a fairly curious passage of play, actually. Both teams have been a little bit inattentive with the ball, and it's been actually what you want exactly at this time of the game when you're 3-1 up, scrappy.
Yeah. And a corner on the right-hand side with the ball in the right part of the field from a Guiseley perspective. Gabriel Johnson to take this corner, lining up for the bus on the penalty spot as they split out. The referee almost predeterminedly decides there's a free kick. He's probably seen something in there he didn't like in the build-up, and there's a free kick to Southport that relieves the pressure on this occasion.
Yeah, and obviously Southport very keen to get back underway as quickly as they possibly can. They know that if they're to get anything from this game, they need to get that first goal back towards parity as quickly as they possibly can.
Hamza Ben Sharif penalised in his challenge with Marcus Carver. A couple of key decisions there, just going Southport's way. Perhaps that gives a little bit of momentum to the visitors. As this free kick about 10 yards up from the centre circle, inside the Lions half, allows the big men to come forward. There are 5 on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's Jack Doyle stood over the ball. There's a chance to float this one down. Right arm up, Doyle floats it in with his left foot into the penalty spot over the heads of the number of Southport attackers looking to capitalise and into the safe arms of Brad Wade. Goalkeeper just taking his time to use up the seconds here now. Slow the game down. 2 minutes of normal time by my reckoning roughly to go. And a long clearance from Brad Wade lands on the head of Bainbridge and is headed into the Lions half. Guiseley managed to clear, but it's returned into the Lions half and forced out of play by George Cantrell. So Southport can keep the pressure on into the final couple of minutes, see if they can get this foothold back in the game. It could be a cagey affair if the Lions were to concede one now. As it is, the Lions are 3-1 up. But the pressure is mounting now as Southport seek to get a late boost in the search for a late comeback in this game. Good interception here from Milan Butterfield to win the ball back and gives it to Gabriel Johnson. Johnson runs at his man, dinks the ball off here to Kane Felix. Felix on the edge of the area. Has a lot of work to do to get past the defender. Does. Goes into the box, is pulled down, and the penalty is awarded to Guiseley. There's a coming together with the defender in Kane Felix after he'd worked ever so well to get past his man and get into the box. The referee had a little think, pointed to the spot, and the Lions have the chance to get a fourth from the penalty spot.
Soft.
It was clumsy from the defender, wasn't it? It wasn't like a lunging, sliding challenge or something awful like that. But Kane Felix turning in the area, trying to get the shape he needs, and the defender didn't need to go into him, and it was just a barging into contact. And if that happens in the middle of the field, maybe a free kick. But for a penalty, maybe a bit generous. Can we get a goal from it?
Broden Becker blasts the ball home. He missed his last one. away at Kettering, but this time no mistake from the spot. And on the 90th minute, the Lions have a 4th goal and an unassailable lead. It's Guiseley 4, Southport 1.
Oh, what a relief. What a relief. Southport have had 1 or 2 opportunities, you know, been chasing their way to try and get back into the game. And the biggest difference we've been talking about all afternoon has been the chasing, the energy and the intensity up front. And that was what led to that. You know, whether it was a bit of a foul or a lot of a foul or none of a foul, you know, it doesn't really matter actually. What matters is Kane Felix had the ball facing goal inside the area because he was willing to chase and because the team were willing to push out and show willing. You know, and those energy levels have been so much higher today than in, you know, last Saturday was one of the flattest games I can remember seeing, you know, at Nethermore for a long time. Night and day different to today's performance.
Yeah, I mean, tremendous energy all over the pitch today. I don't think anybody can be, you know, less than pleased with the performance they've put in. And as you say, it's that intensity in the last minute that's a proper comment on how much they want it.
And Guiseley go again. They chase the ball down the right-hand side as the Lions press. They this time run into a blind alley in the shape of the substitute Miracle Okafor, who's just come on for LeBrun and Becker, whose final action of the afternoon is to score that penalty. There was lots of gags on Tuesday night about needing a miracle when we were playing at Chorley. No such gags can pass muster this afternoon. The Lions.
Sorry, Colin, but he's played well as well, and Becker. You know, and I think brave to take the penalty. He's been sat down with cramp a few minutes before. You know, that will be related to him coming off now.
Now chance here for Southport as they get the ball on the edge of the area. The shot comes in, it's blocked. It was an opportunity for Carver as they look to get some element of pride back on the scoreline. 4-1 seems generous to Guiseley, but after such a drought of home wins or home performances, we're grateful for it. Challenger now with the ball, and as it goes into the net, Southport grab one back. I think it's Carver who's in there as the ball went in to Matthew Challoner. It was played across the 6-yard box and into stoppage time. Southport get a second, and it's Marcus Carver who grabs it into stoppage time here.
Such a strange non-event, a goal like that without fans here. You know, all the players tussling over the ball inside the net actually, but without fans here, it's just a case of everyone get back to your positions and restart. You know, no sort of noise or anything around it at all.
What was utterly curious about that goal as well is that the referee actually didn't indicate playing on until after they had played on. Most peculiar.
It's good to have you, Adi. Just some familiar of the Nethermore soundscape.
I have to say, it's just poor. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
he just, they played on and then he let them play on. How odd.
So it's 4-2 now. We've had our goals. We've had plenty in the second half. As Southport look to get another, as they haven't given up this game into the 4 minutes of stoppage time that are going to be played. Challoner now making it down that right-hand side. It's important that the Lions hold their concentration here, as that 2-goal lead, which was a 3-goal lead a few moments ago, is still being attacked by the visitors.
Yeah, rightly there is more time to play in this game with the substitutions and a couple of stoppages for injuries. Guys, they need to focus and get on this now.
Cross comes in from the corner, blocked by George Cantrell. Lions don't want to concede another. 4-2 is a good scoreline. The ball here with Jack Doyle is a long throw into the box. It's a spin on the ball by the substitute into the 6-yard box again. The Lions not really dealing with it. Collected by the captain Morgan, who lays it back to Antwi to the halfway line, where Benjamin plays it forward once again. Southport seeing the ball bounce on the edge of the 18-yard box, and the Lions not getting a foot on it. Antwi now can lay the ball in. The effort for Watson to have a shot is also repelled. The shot comes in from distance, and this one over and behind for a goal kick. But guys, we're kind of standing off here, aren't we? We're not really getting into the defensive positions and getting the ball clear.
And Hamza's still busily complaining about the second goal, whereas, you know, it's gone, let's just get on with it.
So by my reckoning, we should have had the 4, but we still play on. And as you say, Nick, there was stoppages within that period as well to allow the penalty to take place. The ball has gone up and into the Guiseley half. Played forward there by Andre Jones, and this will run out of play for a goal kick for Southport. Still, the Lions lead 4-2. Late stages of this game, other games coming into their final moments around and about the grounds. Last big thank you to everyone who's supported us on our crowdfunder today. Hugely appreciated. And those of you from a Southport persuasion who have done so as well. Really, really humbled and grateful for your support today. The Lions trying to repel the visitors' attack once again. Hamza Ben Sharif goes down, and I think he's conceded a free kick. Is a little bit of a push and shove between him and Marcus Carver. That was heating up. The assistant on that near side gave the free kick to Southport. Yeah, we're deep into it now as the game continues. And it's a free kick by the corner flag here for Southport.
I think we're into minute 6 now, Colin, of the 4.
Yeah, we certainly are deep into this. It keeps on going, and the ball is delivered in there. The Lions still haven't cleared. Battled away, and again played up towards the halfway line. Referee still plays on. The ball back into the Guiseley penalty area. The flag goes up. The referee says that's enough. Southport have been beaten this afternoon as the Lions finally get a home win, a win that has eluded them since the opening day of the season in October, as it is in this weird time. The Lions have, however, once again scored 4 as they did on that occasion as well. It was 1-1 at half-time, but after a super second-half performance, Guiseley added to their tally with new signing Josh Parsons scoring, Kane Felix back to his old tricks, and LeBrun Becker from the spot after Felix was fouled in the penalty area. A very satisfying afternoon of football for the Lions. Guiseley 4, Southport 2.
A huge relief after some difficult recent performances and some disappointing results. To see Guiseley come out, play as we know they can play, show the energy that we know they can show up front, chase down, use the width, move for one another and show for one another in midfield, and make opportunities. And today the biggest difference has been the number of opportunities that we've made. In the end, we've taken 4 of them, and a really satisfactory afternoon all in all, especially after having gone behind in those opening 15 minutes of the game. I'm just going to read out a couple of messages from the chat room before we get your and AD's final thoughts. Margaret Cooper, great performance. We agree. Lion Cub, just excited that we won at home. Guiseley Loyals has much improved performance. Great effort from the new players, but Jones superb and Kane man of the match for me. Alan Thompson says we were the better team in the second half. RC Lion says just need to carry this performance through now. And a good number of people saying they've enjoyed your contributions this afternoon, AD. You're our lucky charm, and that you're welcome to come back and join us whenever you like. And so maybe you'll bring us another good result midweek.
That's very kind of everybody. You've obviously not got a lot of sense, but it's very kind. No, I mean I think everything that's been said. It was a very intense performance in the second half. The number of chances for both teams actually probably must have been double figures for both teams. I just slightly irritated by the second goal at the end, in as much as I thought that everything about it was sloppy. But yeah, great performance. And actually, Southport, as Nick was commenting beforehand, tend to not concede. So a 4-2 result I certainly couldn't see coming. But yeah, good performance all round, some good finishes, and certainly Guiseley winning was deserved, whatever the final scoreline.
Well, it's been a very good afternoon for the Lions. A new signing in Milan Butterfield, the home debut of Josh Parsons, all having an impact on play, and Guiseley winning by 4-2. The other scores around the division, just to wrap things up: Alfreton 1, Chorley 1, Boston United 0, Cheston 0, Brackley 2, Blythe 1, Bradford Park Avenue 1, Leamington 3, Curzon Ashton 0, Gloucester 1, Gateshead 0, Kidderminster 1, Guiseley 4, Southport 2, Game of the Day, surely. Hereford 2, AFC Fylde 1, Kettering 0, Telford 0, and York 1, Spennymoor 1. I'm looking at the site, hoping to see it updated, and if this is correct, because sometimes it is a bit squiffy when it's just finished after the end of the matches being played, but it does show that Guiseley are finally clear of the relegation zone ahead of Alfreton, Darlington and Blythe. But we're really grateful for everyone who supported us today. Finally, the biggest shout out has to go to you, the people who've watched, the people who've listened, and in particular, the people who've pledged today on our crowdfunder site. We're really grateful for every support, and I know that's been a bitter disappointment for Southport fans, but your generosity has been tremendous, and we're really grateful for every pledge that you've made in support of what we're trying to do here and keeping this stream live and free on a pay-as-you-feel basis. And just one last shout-out to FPS who pledged just late on here this afternoon. You can still do so if you feel, as John has just done, and a couple of anonymous donies as well. Really, really grateful for all of your support. It helps us keep this, wash its face, hopefully not to lose too much money during these difficult times, and your support is really tremendously gratefully received. We're back on Tuesday, same thing, same duty, hopefully same result as this afternoon in terms of a victory on the field, but for now, thank you for everyone who's joined us today, everyone who's pledged. We finish here with the Lions and the good news that Guiseley have won 4 goals to 2. See you next time.